Hi Elucidat authors, and welcome to this Level 1 video on how to structure your project and create a clear flow before getting into the detail of creating your content. So let's jump into the tool. So here I am in one of my projects. As you can see, it doesn't really have any content in it yet, and that's because I've only just created it. It does have the one blank page which Elucidat creates when you set up a new project. And when you go into a project in Elucidat, it will take you to this pages area. And it's here that you can add the chapters and pages that will really define the structure of your project, both for your learners and also for you as editors. So firstly, I'm going to add a page type to this screen type. I set page type on this menu, and here you can see there are lots of different types of page types within Elucidat, and on this menu they're structured into different types of interactions. I want my learner to interact with the content, so I'm going to select this item, and that will show me all of the different interactions that I could choose. I'm going to choose an image sequence and then simply select set page type, and that's done for me. Now I want to add a new page. I just click this button, and again I can set the page type for it. It is possible to change this page type once you've set it up, but I'd recommend that you don't do this after you've added in any content, because you'll lose that content when you make the change. So as you can see, I've now got two screens and they're both grouped together in what's called chapter 1. I want to add some more screens, but this time I'm going to add them into a new chapter. So I'm going to add a few new pages down here. And the reason that I want to add them into a separate chapter is I want to group like content together. So for example, I could use my first chapter to present theory and then my second chapter to allow the learners to practice. So I'm going to add in some question types. As you can see in the first chapter, I added the page types as I added the pages, but here I've added in a number of pages and then I'm going to select the page types. So it's quite flexible to allow you to work the way that you want to. So in this case, I'm just going to add in a simple information screen to set it up for my learners. And on the next screen, I want it to be a question to test their knowledge. It's really a good idea to familiarise yourself with the types of page types that are available within Elucidat, so you can make sure that you're really making the best of the tool. Another great thing about Elucidat is that if there's a page that you've created that you want to reuse either the structure of or the content of, then you can simply duplicate it like this. So that way I'm very quickly adding in more and more questions that I can then populate with content. So now I've got the basic structure of my course sorted. I've got my pages separated out into the chapters, so I'm grouping relevant content. Now I want to show you a couple of the useful features that you'll find in this pages area. You can see here that I'm accessing this area in the grid view, and the grid view shows me a thumbnail of each of the pages, which I find really useful for visualising the structure of my course. I could also look at the list view, and that will just show me the pages by their names, again structured into the different chapters, and I can add new pages and new chapters in the same way as I can in the grid view. This is really useful if you've got a much longer course and a lot of content to look at, but personally I prefer the grid view. Another useful feature that I like to use is the ability to select pages, maybe more than one pages, and up here I can either create a new chapter for them, duplicate them, or delete them en masse, which is a really quick way of making changes and setting up your structure. Another feature that's really useful is the ability to be able to drag screens around. So if you want to change the order of your content, that's very easy to do, either within a chapter as I just did, or between different chapters. It makes it a very quick way of changing the order of things if once you've reviewed something, for example, you think a change is needed. So I'm just going to pop that back to where it came from so I don't get confused later. It's also possible to move chapters around. To do this, you use the menu over here and you simply select Move Chapter and decide where you want it to move to. I don't actually want this to move, so I'm going to cancel that there. And finally, once you've got your structure set up the way you want it, you're ready to go in and edit your content. I'm going to talk you through this in another video, but for now I'll just show you how you'd go in and go about that. So again, just use this menu here, click Edit Page, and that will take you into the area, the authoring edit area, where you can edit that content. And to get back to Pages, you can either use the button up here or use the Pages button here within the breadcrumb. To close, I've got 3 top tips for you. Firstly, it's a good idea to group pages with related content into chapters. This will help you make sense of it when you're editing and can also help learners when they're going through the project. You can also use drag and drop to move pages and duplicate and delete multiple pages at once to speed up your structuring. Finally, I'd recommend only adding content to your page when you're sure of your page type. It would be awful to spend a lot of time editing a page, realise you want to change your screen type, and then lose that content that you've created. So thanks for watching this video. Up next, I'm going to talk you through how you can edit text and images in the structure and the pages that you've just created. I'll see you there.